Why am I on this earth? Is it to be a good obedient worker under fluorescent lights and in front of a computer screen? To be able to buy my future kids nice gifts? Or is it to unleash the fire in my soul? Because why else am I here? Why else am I on this earth? Why else are you on this earth? To unleash the fire that is burning in you. Is it to be liked? Is it to temper that fire? Is it to filter that fire? Is it to make that fire into something acceptable and appropriate and of acceptable standards to social norms? What are social norms? What are social norms and what are taboos and what is culture? To me, they're languages. They are languages of repression. They are different restrictions and rules that different cultures have about what you can and cannot say. But why do we need permission? And the behavioral norms, and I need to behave in a certain way because it's safe and it's consistent and it's a ritual, and we love rituals and we love benchmarks and we love safety. Why do I need someone to tell me what I am expressing? Is it because people are fragile and people have comfort zones? And people get very set in their roles and their identities in life, and they don't want anything to mess with that or rattle that cage, right? Because if it was all a lie, what would that mean? If my life was all a lie and everything I put my faith in was absolute garbage lie, then wouldn't it be difficult to start from the ground up? Yeah, it would. So then maybe it's better to just pretend you never knew it was a lie, right? And then just smile like everyone else smiles and behave like everyone else behaves, right? And negativity and repression is a way of life in our culture. If you don't repress, then you're looked at like a freak. If you actually want to feel your feelings, release them, get rid of them, heal, and say, hey, I'm human here. I suffered because, this world indoctrinates you into a worldview of fear. If I look someone in the eye and I want to have an authentic conversation, to them, some people just can't tolerate it. They can't, you know what I mean? To them, it's like they see it and they're like, oh shit, it's a glitch in the matrix. Shit, I gotta turn away. What if they're looking? I mean, how about I should start my conversations like this. What about the idea that the Truman Show is real life? The Truman Show was a documentary, and the Matrix was a documentary. Most people just have these barriers up, and it's like, why? Why are they so afraid? Like, you're probably a beautiful person. From what I can tell, if I've said hi to you, if I know you in the coffee shop, whatever, is the world that scary of a place where we all have to kind of keep our guard up? That's the way it seems when you talk to a lot of strangers. Because you realize social norms are fucking bullshit. Social norms are a bunch of bullshit that people made up because they're afraid to talk to someone. I want to talk to you if you're a stranger because you have an entire universe housed in you that I can learn from. And that no one else could ever recreate for eternity. So that's why I want to talk to you, and that's why I'm happy to talk to you if you're a stranger. What if you were meant to be a lightning bolt of truth and love to the skull of every single person you meet? What if you were meant to be extraordinary? What if you were meant to be just a force of love that changed and affected profoundly everyone you came into contact with? And what if really everyone was meant to be that? And what if we were meant to just be able to magnify and take this co-creation of our realities into new levels and expansive levels of consciousness that have never previously before been seen, to experience heaven on earth? Because I really believe the deeper you do go into love, it's like you expand the heart space, you expand your consciousness, you expand what we were meant to do beyond these bodies, and what our truest essence is love. Did I come all the way to earth to be in this body at this time in history for this amount of time to sit in a cubicle for 9 hours a day? Did I? Did you? Think about how like precious and miraculous life is, and like, isn't it sad, you know? And realize that to live in this society is to have trauma, period. Because it's this transactionalized life. Everything is transactionalized, from a smile to a hello to a the simplest things. It's like after a while you lose the ability to think that someone can do something without a reason to benefit themselves. It's like, who the hell does anyone even take pleasure in climbing this corporate ladder bullshit? It's like this schmoozing you gotta do, like with people you don't like, and you gotta be like, you know, on your game and socializing, and you know, everyone's like, it's political, you gotta be well liked, and this and that, and just phonies and friggin' people who aren't really true to themselves. They're just doing what society told them to do because, let me go work for this corporation because I got nothing better. Because I don't have the guts to find something in myself that might be worth something to society, something true and real and never before seen in the world, in my heart and soul. So it's like, did you come to Earth from whatever star system, from whatever galaxy you came from whatever all-light civilization of 12-dimensional beings you came from, whatever the hell it is? You know, it's like whatever our essence is, which is ineffable and unknowable, could have been 12D, where it's just like we're hanging out, just pure love essence, like all day long, every day. We're just with our little pure love families in these whatever galaxies or star systems or dimensions we came from. And then we come to this, you know, this planet of anger and war and hatred and, you know, think of, you know, if we chose to come here, I think the people that incarnated here and chose to incarnate here are brave, and they do have a mission, and you really do have a mission that you came here to do. And your energy signature was called for, and you answered the call. Think of it that way. That you have an energy signature, a key in a lock that no one else can repeat. And you're sitting in a cubicle for 10 hours a day. But it's just a funny thing when you're like, you kind of just are like, oh, so I'm not weird because I was suffering so badly, and I took this path of healing, and I took this path of knowing the deepest truths and never settling for it in myself, and realizing the whole universe was in myself, and I needed to find it all here. My question for you is, why not you? Why not you to be the groundbreaker and the world changer? And is that your highest self talking too? Why do so many people just settle for such a low ceiling of happiness? They'd rather be, you know, fat and merry and take the blue pill. Like what's his name? Cypher in The Matrix, where he's like, I want my steak. I want to go back. I don't want this shit anymore. He's like, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He just wants to go back to ignorance is bliss and forget that he ever knew that there was a matrix. And there's a certain point that you reach where you're like, you can't go back, and you can't go back to seeing all this shit and thinking that it equals anything close to happiness. It's just this agreed upon thing, these agreed upon ideals of success and happiness that just becomes this very low ceiling for everyone. And then if everyone gets their little pings and they hit their marks, then they all think that, like, oh, we should be happy because I got this, this, and this. And if we all just confirm that we hit those marks, then we can all just say we're happy together. And no one considers the fact that it's just a collective delusion. Why do we have to see the world the same way? Why? Why does there have to be an answer when I have a philosophical conversation, you know, about the origin of God and this and that? Why isn't it just each one of our opinions and relations and ways of contacting and feeling the divine is radically, radically different. So there really shouldn't be some one nice answer, if you ask me. But